Hey friends, hope you are all very well. Today is very exciting and something new, something different, and also using something new and exciting for me. So Nick surprised me and updated a lot of our kitchenware. We have a new cookware set, we have a new dinnerware set, we have a couple of new utensils, a new knife block, and new chopping boards. There's probably some more that I'm missing. So he completely done the order himself, and so I didn't really have a say on what was chosen, but it's all really nice quality things, which I definitely appreciate, and I love everything. One thing though, so before he made the order, he told me he was going to spend the money and he already had things to cut. He goes, I've already got it in the cut, it's done. But if I wanted anything in specific, and I said I would love a new bakeware. So I actually did choose this out myself. So I did choose this one out myself, and I just think this is absolutely stunning. So the website that he done all this ordering from is from the website House. So they do definitely stock more quality items. So it comes with this stand. So this is the dish, and it's essentially has this stand as well, so you can bake in it. Which I wanted something large, by the way. I have lots of small things. My Pyrex dish, you know, I love, but they're very little, which is fine. If it's just for Nick and I, it's fine. But if we are hosting, I'm using like 2 or 3 Pyrex dishes, and then it's just like more dishes, and yeah. So I would really love something bigger. And then yeah, I know I love this stand that it comes with, so you can get it straight from the oven straight onto this stand as well, so you don't need to mess around with tea towels and things. And I just think it's absolutely beautiful. So this dish, Ladelle maybe, so that's the brand of it there. But yeah, so this was purchased from the House website, and we're going to be using this for the first time today, as well as something new that we're going to be using into this dish, which is kind of silly though, because this is so big and the amount of chicken I actually got in it, it's not going to fill it up. I probably could get away with using one of my larger Pyrexes, but I just really want to use this one. But as well as, not only are we using this dish, which is something new, but we're going to do a recipe from, what's the right word, not like the, oh, what's the word? Like, it's not like an Australian recipe or a Greek recipe. I can't think of the actual word to use, but it's from a country that I've never cooked from before, and that is a Cuban recipe. So it seemed very similar to Mexican flavors, which Mexican has been my favorite go-to ways of cooking and experimenting lately. But yeah, I've never made anything Cuban. I honestly just found this one recipe on Pinterest. I will leave that down below. I haven't fact checked it, so if it's not authentic, I'm sorry. But she listed it as a Cuban recipe, and it just reading that one thing, I'm like, yep, that sounds so good and refreshing. So we're gonna be doing that using our new dish. So straight away with this recipe, we are gonna be using chicken thighs, bone in, skin on, baking in the dish. There is of course some ingredients I am missing. We're just making do with what we got. So it isn't authentic. It might not end up being completely authentic as a Cuban recipe, but it's enough for us. I'm sure it's still going to be delicious. And yeah. Another thing exciting is we're using some orange juice in the recipe. So it's just, I think it's just called like baked Cuban chicken or something like that. So this is orange juice from our own oranges that we canned up ourselves. I do have a video when we've done this, so I'll leave that down below. So it'll be good to use up some of this. Recipe only calls for half a cup. So the remaining I just put in the fridge, and then I can just enjoy a fresh glass of orange juice. So we done that back in the 7th of March, what was that, July 2023. And I actually opened up a jar like last week, and that's still great and good. So we got that. Recipe also calls for, this is our new pot by the way, our new little set. Recipe called for lemon and or lime juice. I thought I pulled out lime juice. I've been lazy with marking my things. I pulled out lemon juice. So I would have rather the orange and the lime, but we're doing orange and lemon for our citrus notes and juice. Recipe calls for the zest as well, but we're going to add in a little bit more juice than what it calls for, because I don't have the zest, since that juice came from, this one being my lemon juice, came from my parents' garden that I processed and had in the freezer. So that's very good as well. Do have lime juice in the freezer. That's again what I thought I was pulling out at first, and that is from my aunties. But that's fine. That's I need to get better with my labeling, but it's still fun. It says like lime or lemon, so we're doing the lemon juice. Called for onion powder. I don't have onion powder, but because I got so much room in this tray, we will dice up some onions to bake with it. And otherwise to serve, we'll do rice, we'll grill up some corn, we'll do some cucumber and some red onions. So it should be really, really good. It looks really nice and refreshing. But let's get this chicken marinated. Alrighty, so I'm still experimenting with this new tripod and things. Please excuse all the cords. So we're going to start marinating making up the marinade in a bowl. So first just want to open up this can of juice, orange juice. You can use obviously shop bought juice if that's what you have. That's, I'm sure, what the recipe was intended to, but this is just as good. Oh, smells so good too. Okay, so we want half a cup of orange juice. This is a cup measure here, so I'm just eyeballing half a cup. We want 1/4 cup of oil. So I'm using this olive oil. This is a local olive oil, which is nice and fun. So I believe I got this one from O'Keefe's. I get a lot of local fresh produce from either O'Keefe's or the Wyler Visitor Centre. I sometimes forget where I get what, but I'm pretty sure this one is an O'Keefe's one. We want 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. Now the recipe calls for half a teaspoon of all the spices, which is brown ginger, I don't have, cumin, which I do have, and onion powder, which I don't have. But like I said, I'm going to substitute the onion powder for actual onions that will roast with the chicken in the pan. So yeah, cumin, it says half a teaspoon. I had about a teaspoon left, and it's a flavour I really like. So, and because we are lacking in the ginger, we're using about a teaspoon of cumin in here. And the lemon juice. Now with this pan, as you can see, there's a little sprout, which I love, especially because we don't have a kettle. We use hot water or heat up our milk on the stove for our coffees and things. And yeah, it's so handy having this sprout on the side. Love that. So again, the recipe called for only 2 tablespoons of lemon or lime juice, but I just used the juice of a whole lemon, which was probably maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons, and I don't have any zest, where it did call for some zest. I'll do a pinch of salt. This is the Redmond real salt. You guys know I love this salt. This is always linked down below if you want to have a look. And I think rather than getting, like I said, we need ginger powder. I know I don't need this for this recipe. This is just some black pepper. I don't need this for this recipe, but ground coriander, I know I'm out and I love. And now I've just used this cumin. I think I want to find a high quality spice store online. So if you have any ideas or recommendations, definitely let me know. Otherwise, I'll be the guinea pig and I'll go out shopping and we can test that together. That might be a really fun thing to do together. So this is all for the marinade. It just smells like orange juice and maple syrup, to be honest. Actually, we need some garlic. So this is one of the new boards that Nick brought for us. And this is some of the garlic cloves from our garden. Which, yeah, that's right. Which is definitely stunning. So we do have an Australian white and a Dunscansky purple. Garlic was the 2 varieties that I grew. Absolutely stunning. But unfortunately, they didn't cure correctly. Nick's just turned on the vacuum, if you can hear that in the background. But my garlic didn't cure correctly, so we need to do a very big garlic preservation day together. We need to get that done like ASAP. Because I definitely do have a year's worth of garlic, which is fantastic. But if I don't get to it, then it's going to get wasted, and then it's just the whole thing is a waste. So definitely need to make sure to get to that. But with this garlic, I just got 4 little cloves. And we'll just mince that up and put it in the marinade. So this is everything for the marinade. And I do have some chicken thighs here. So they got the bone in and the skin on. So hopefully we get a nice crispy skin as well. But we're going to let these marinate in the fridge for probably 3 or 4 hours before we cook them. So now this is all nice and perfect. Oh, these are tiny. 2 tiny ones. I thought that was one big one. That's okay. But now these are all prepared up and our chicken's getting marinated. We will wrap this up, pop it in the fridge, and then yeah, we'll come back later. And when it's in the oven, that's when we can chop up our garnishing and our sides and get the rice cooked. But otherwise, yeah, this is the marinade, which definitely excited. It's citrusy. I mean, lemon and limes, yes, like lemon pepper, or having lime with like chili is often flavors we have, but orange juice and with maple syrup as well, it's definitely a different kind of marinade than what we usually eat. So I'm really excited to try something new. Alrighty, so like I said, this is now going to go into the fridge for probably 3 or 4 hours before we come back to bake it. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is start filming another video for today. So you'll probably see that video first, which is going to be reorganizing and destashing my seed collection, because I got too much. I got too much. Seeds don't last forever, so I'd rather figure out my idea for the garden for 2025, both cool season and warm season, and then destash my collection and give them away. I'll just post a post on Facebook and see if anyone in my area wants them. I'm hoping that they do, because I don't want them to be in the bin. Like, they're still good healthy seeds, they're not that old. But rather than sitting in my container knowing I'm not going to use them, I'd rather gift them out to somebody that would like to use them and hopefully get used. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next few hours while our chicken's marinating. But for this video, for you guys it'll just be a second, but yeah, we'll be back in a couple of hours. Alrighty, it's been probably about 4 hours. This chicken is looking nice and good. And one thing I forgot to mention is we are going to put the chicken in the dish, but we're not going to put all the juices, because the goal is to get the chicken nice and juicy in the inside, but also crispy skin. But we are going to use this marinade. We'll cook it on the stove and turn it into like a glaze or like a little saucy bit to pour on top. But we definitely still need to cook it, because obviously it's been a raw chicken. But oven is preheating at 210 degrees Celsius. And now I've got my new big dish. I'm so excited. So we're just gonna quarter a white onion and put the chicken in this. And like I said, I know this dish is too big for the amount of chicken I got tonight, just sneaking out, but I'm really excited to use this dish. So we're gonna use it. Please excuse the lighting right now as well, because it's absolutely awful lighting. These are the new knives too. The Baccarat brand. I don't even know what they're called, but they are very nice. So we're gonna quarter this onion, and Nick and I love eating onion. Alrighty. I think that's all we had to chop. I do need to chop. So we're going to garnish with red onion on top of this dish. as well as it should be coriander, fresh coriander, but I don't have any. So I do have a little, and I mean a little bit of parsley that's kind of struggling out in the garden. Hopefully we can harvest something from there to garnish for that little bit of greenery. So we'll keep this up here to chop that up later, but we want this chicken to get done in the oven. So I'm just going to use my hands, but it's nice, looking very nice. Oh, smells really good too. This one's a big thigh. Oh, it's so pretty. We do want to wrap this up with some foil. And now this can go into the oven at 210 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes. Then we'll take off the foil and give it another 10-15 minutes to try and crisp up that skin a little bit. But for now, it's in for 20 minutes. Alright, so we got parsley and red onion to finely chop for garnish. That can be later. We got rice to get cooking, which I will probably start that now. We're going to grill some corn. We got fresh corn, but I am going to take the corn off the cob. We're just going to pan fry it just to get it nice and toasty. Don't need to add anything to that. That'll be delicious as is. And then we're just going to slice off some cucumbers as well and serve that with that. You can use like black beans. I noticed when I had a quick look online with the rice or just another side. Which, to be completely honest, I do have dried black beans. I've never cooked a dried bean before, and can I be bothered to research and learn right now? No. So maybe that's something to do in the future, is to learn how to cook a dang dried bean, because I don't know how. I don't even think I like black beans. I don't know. Nick brought them, so we have them. So we do need to do something with them. But yeah, I think rice, corn, and cucumber is plenty. But yeah, it's very simple, the size, but it's going to be very nice and delicious altogether, I'm sure. Oh, we're going to simmer that sauce. Let's get the rice going now. 1 cup of rice and 1.5 cups of water. These lids look so sleek as well, and they have the drain holes because, like how I mentioned before, they have the sprout. But one thing I hate about these lids is the handle gets so hot. So like every time you need to take out, and I'm not used to doing that. So let's see if we can make rice without burning my fingers when I go take that lid off. But anyhow, rice is on. Let's get the corn organized. Alright, so to take the corn off the cob, I know they have gadgets and things. You really don't need that. At least I never do. You can see where the corn kernel kind of finishes from the cob, and you just go a little bit before that. And it works great. Like, you just slice it and it's completely fine. Or you can also use frozen corn or canned corn. We prefer canned corn over frozen corn. I just like the texture better. But this fresh corn was pretty cheap when I went to go buy it, and we just never used it. So we're using it today. But because it does have to get used, I will slice all 3 cobs of corn, and it can go straight into the pan. And like I said, we don't need to season it or do anything. We're just literally going to toast it up and make it yummy. And we're going to start that on a medium to high heat. And while the camera's already this side, we'll pop this one on this pot on the hob. And I do know this pot is a bit dramatic in size, but we're going to pour in that chicken marinade, and we'll turn that to a medium to start simmering and thicken up a bit. So I have used the pots to like either make noodles or just to boil water to make a coffee, but I haven't actually used them like this to cook a proper meal. So this is very exciting and I love the look of them. Ah, they're gorgeous. By the way, they are, I'm just going to show you because we all know I can't pronounce things properly, but that's the set. I love them. Now back onto this side, we are going to get the red onion and hopefully parsley if I can get some from the garden. Nicely prepared for the garnish on top, because apparently raw red onion, again I haven't done much research, for the little bit, again I haven't done much research, but for the little bit of research that I have done, raw red onion seems to be a go-to, kind of like Mexican as well. Like you always have, well not always, but you occasionally have like raw onion a lot in tacos or spread on top of nachos or whatever, you know what I mean? And I mean, if we have sandwiches or whatever, we always have raw red onion. So I think it's going to be great texture wise to go with the chicken and the rice. So we'll get this onion done, cucumber, and yeah, hopefully parsley. I have to check the garden. Which should be coriander, but we're just making do what we have. I got the cucumber for the fridge because unfortunately our homegrown cucumbers didn't last long this season. Great. I don't know if it's because I'm so hungry or probably because these are in season, but these are like the best grapes I've ever tried. Oh my god. So although dinner's 20 minutes out, I am starving. I'm gonna snack on these grapes. Yeah, so good. Okay. Alrighty, this isn't really thicken up as much, but it was simmering for, I don't know, 5 minutes. So the raw chicken is completely cooked out. The corn is looking delicious. Whoa, that was a big flip for me. So I've just turned the heat off of that. That can get pushed to the side because that's fine. That's fantastic. Rice is still cooking. Timer was to take the foil off of this one. Oh yeah, she's gonna need some time to look better. The temperature is at 210 degrees still. I'll keep it like that, but probably like 20 minutes because she's looked ugly. Alright, so that's what it looks like when it's out of the oven. The lighting's now gone bad, but I absolutely love this dish. You can see, I mean, you can tell it's been baked in, obviously, but that's the whole concept of it. So, I don't know, maybe not the prettiest thing to cook for this. I want to try this again with like a chicken and rice casserole bake all in once, and hopefully it's not as ugly. But let's garnish, which literally to garnish is just raw red onion because my pasta was no good. So I don't have any green type of herbs. I don't know, I love this dish. I just think this is the wrong kind of meal because it looks kind of awful, but it's also cute. Like if you just ignore that, it's cute. I know Nick's current obsession, he cleaned this all up, deep cleaned this corner, which I'm glad because there was so much junk here. He's made a bulldog station. But anyway, everything else for dinner is definitely ready to go. Alrighty, it is hot, it is sweaty. We got dinner dished up. I am liking the green herb on top. Whether it will be, what it should be is coriander. I was going to substitute with parsley. My parsley is a no bueno outside. Now, once it was all plated, I'm like, Greek yogurt might be really nice, especially with the corn, the rice, the cucumber. So we did add some Greek yogurt to the side. Whether that's authentic or not, I don't know. But let's taste, because I poured some of that marinade that we thickened up a little bit as a sauce. I poured it over the chicken and a little bit into the rice. So let's just taste the rice with like the sauce. Okay, that's a little sour. A little sour. It's so good. I love foods like this with different components so you can mix and match and just change the flavor profile in your mouth. Yeah, it's a little sour. I want to taste the marinade because it's with the chicken. I'm thinking now though, because my orange juice isn't a sweetened orange juice, maybe could use a little bit of sugar, but it's fine. If I use a store-bought orange juice, probably would be fine. Using my orange juice, knowing that is a bit more of the sour side of orange juice, I should have balanced it out with sugar. But it's really good. That we will still definitely eat this, and I will definitely make it again, just with a little bit of sugar. I'm just gonna grab into the chicken. Woo! Wow, okay. I don't really get that sourness in the chicken. That is good. And by the way, I didn't even say this at the start, but this recipe, this chicken dish is called Mojo Chicken, is the title of this. Should have probably started with that, not finishing the video with that information, but wow, that was good. Yeah, like I said, Greek yogurt's probably not authentic, but I quite enjoy it with it. So, for a first recipe of a Cuban recipe that I've not only made myself but tried, I've never eaten out like of a Cuban recipe or restaurant or anything like that. So I've never tried the food. Like I said, it was similar to Mexican. That's the vibe I was getting. They're both Mexican and Cuban are both Spanish, I believe. Don't count me on that, but I'm pretty sure they're both Spanish. But that is delicious. And this is definitely a keeper recipe. I can feel corn gets stuck in my teeth so easy. But yeah, I'm gonna go and enjoy this meal. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry for my awful, sweaty, hot, sweaty appearance right now. It is just, it's hot. It's hot out here. But yeah, I'm gonna go finish this dinner. The recipe that I did follow will be down in the description, not my recipe like I mentioned I found on Pinterest. That'll be in the description. But yeah, thank you so much for using my new bakeware with me. Although, I don't know if you can see, like it is stunning with the stand, but I don't know, it's just not the prettiest. Maybe if it was more full, it would make more sense, but with having little bits of chicken and, I don't know. But we're gonna experiment with that dish and we're gonna serve up some things and make them look stunning. We'll do that. But yeah, today's not the most stunningest serving in a dish you bake it in, but eating wise, delicious. But thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.